single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.
My porn was so bad.
Was it? I liked it.
I don't even know how I had such a career.
I think it's mostly probably looks.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I mean, there's so many movies where I would like look and be like flicking off the camera. I'd be like, did they edit that part out?
I think they
I never
did.
watched my own porn,
yeah, I don't
so I don't
remember
know.
those parts. No, I remember. I must have been. Do you remember when you started?
Yeah, I was 18.
18. So what?
2001, 2.
Okay, so yeah, so in 2001, 2, I was.
That was
maybe,
like when porn was amazing. Like right off the 90s, still underground.
People still paid for it, or what was amazing about it?
Huge budgets.
Got it. So
Huge
yeah,
budgets.
just prime profit.
Lots of money. Yeah.
Yeah, so you were 18 and you're 36 now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 36. So I was 12,
Oh my God.
13 years
You're
old.
that much younger than
I'm
me?
30.
Oh, 6 years. That's not that bad.
So it's not that bad, but
You
at
don't
that
realize
age,
how old you are until people start saying, "Oh my God, you were the first person I jacked off to," and I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
you definitely weren't the first, but
Thank
you
God.
were amongst the first probably. I remember watching an interview of you talking about the first time you did a porn scene and that you cried afterwards.
Mm-hmm. No, I cried during.
You cried during.
I cried during. That was my first boy-girl scene. I started off with just nude modeling,
Okay.
which brings back all types of memories, because I got into porn because I had to escape my life. That's why I had to get,
and you're
like,
from
my
Florida.
real life.
From Florida?
My family moved from Florida to California. Most of my family moved from Florida to California. My immediate family,
Your parents, brothers,
and
sisters.
one of my brother.
One of your brothers.
My other brother stayed in Florida in college. And it actually goes back farther than that. Like, I came out here when I was young, when I was early teens, to do modeling. And a big agency wanted to sign me. And then I had one of those Harvey Weinstein experiences
where
the agent was
creeping.
we're not going to obviously say any names or whatever.
Creeping.
No, locked me in a bathroom with him.
And this was before
I
you were.
was
this
15
was,
years
15
old.
years old.
Yeah, I was 15
And
years old.
this guy was
huge agency.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience of like, okay, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I don't want to live in LA. This is weird. Obviously not obvious. Nothing happened. I was stuck in there for maybe 45 minutes
Oh, that's good.
before like he got the hint that I was not going to do anything. I'll just sit there in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm 15 years old. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
And they didn't sign me.
Right. You don't.
Pretty much blackballed me.
You're not gonna have
You're not
sex with
gonna-
this old guy, this
Yeah.
old agent.
He actually wasn't old, and he was
Oh,
actually
wasn't.
very good looking.
Oh.
And I was just like
Still creep, though.
I was just so flabbergasted. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't even imagine it. Like, I was just so confused. I think that's partly what it was. And two, I wasn't having sex yet.
You were a virgin.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't like, and my dad had like stacks of like Penthouse magazines and that kind of stuff that I used to look at with like guy friends, like platonic friends. But I was like super awkward. I didn't get pretty till much later.
And you were looking at that more out of fun and curiosity, not like
No, I was looking
masturbating
at
to
it more of like trying to be cool with the guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Not really for myself at all.
yeah. Not in a sexual
Yeah,
way.
No, not
as
at
much.
all. So then I went back to Florida because I was staying out here with like family members. And then my parents were like, oh, we're going to move to California. And I was like, fuck no.
Because in your head, you equated California with that guy who.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do in California if this is what it's like? And then, like, fast forward, and I just didn't want to go to college. And my parents were like, get a job or go to college. That's your option. And so I was like flipping through the newspaper, and there's this little small ad that was like, nude modeling, make $3,000 in an hour. And I was like, done.
But that nude modeling turned out to be porn, or
No, it was actually nude
it
modeling.
was nude modeling. Okay.
And that's how it started.
But
and
does
then it
nude
just
modeling
progressed.
pay $3,000 an hour?
No,
Yeah.
of course not.
I was like,
but this guy at the time, World Modeling, he was like one of the biggest agencies, if not the biggest agency, and he was so kind, and I should have never left him. And it was this creepy old building like on Van Nuys Boulevard with these 3 men, like the epitome of like white trash, like what I came from. It just felt so like home-like.
So why did you end up leaving him?
I ended up leaving him because he only did specific type of stuff, like nude modeling and like girl stuff. And when I decided to go more hardcore, I had to get a different agent.
Got it. You had to.
And then I got a real agent of Harvey Weinstein.
Well, are you allowed to say who that is?
No.
No, okay. But he was just also.
I don't even know. Am I even allowed to use Harvey's name? Because
You
get the idea of what I'm saying when I use the name. I'm
There's
not talking
a
about
lot
him
going on.
specifically. I'm
Wait,
just talking about how he
Harvey
is.
Weinstein, I believe, is in jail now, right? So I think you're allowed to.
I don't know if he's in jail.
I think he's going through the cases right
He's going through it.
I use him as like a analogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I'm perfectly comfortable saying Harvey Weinstein's a bad guy and a
Well,
rapist.
I don't
Even
think
if he hasn't
anybody's
been
good or
convicted.
bad, but
Yeah.
yes.
You
people
don't think anyone's bad?
I don't think people are good or bad. I think they do bad behaviors,
Bad
but I
things.
don't think
So
like
you're saying he might not
soulfully
be.
they're a bad person.
Yeah, he might.
I don't want to make that judgment.
Right. We're not God, you're saying.
Correct.
I think that
I think he did some awful things.
he did some awful things, and I wouldn't want my daughter or girlfriend or friend around him. But
Unless
yeah,
they're, like, strong enough to deal with
can
it.
he? Maybe he had some real sexual issues, and maybe he could get help and turn a new leaf and not be
Not
a
my
bad
problem.
person anymore. Maybe, yeah, maybe he could do that.
Of course. There's redemption for anybody.
Is he a bad guy for life? Maybe not.
No.
But
He's not a bad guy, period. He's just done bad things.
I don't trust him.
No, I don't trust anybody.
No one. What about your kids?
I mean, I trust my children.
Yeah.
To
What
a
about
degree. They like to sneak
your-
candy.
What about your parents?
I mean,
Parent
trust them in
issues?
parent issues in what sense? Like,
Well,
I
how'd they
don't
feel
want to be
about-
too critical of my
How'd they
parents.
feel about it when you told them that you were going
I
to do
actually
nude
didn't tell
modeling?
them.
You
I
never
actually
told
didn't
them.
tell them. I was researching a company on my mom's computer, and I guess I didn't close out enough of the windows. And so she somehow came up on this site.
Your research.
My research. And because I like to do research on companies like before I took the job because for whatever reason, right? And never said anything to me. And then I guess like my first magazine cover that I was in, she slid underneath my bedroom door because it all progressed very quickly, right? So like
You were still living with them at the time.
I was still living with them.
Okay.
So it was like maybe 6 months into my career, the magazine slid under my door and then I moved out. And that was that.
So her sliding the magazine under the door was not her saying, "Hey, look, I'm so proud of you. You got your
Oh, no.
first cover."
No.
It was saying, "Hey, I know what you're up to, and I don't like it.
Hey, you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit."
And this is not how I raised you, and shame on you, and you're bringing our entire family down. So get the fuck
Damn.
out.
I mean,
You know, a good old Jewish mom.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
I know you're Jewish now. I didn't realize you were
Well, I mean, I was
raised
born
Jewish.
Jewish. Born Jewish.
Oh.
Jewish now, like I converted to Judaism?
I thought maybe you did.
Oh, no.
I don't know
no,
because
no.
you don't look Jewish.
That's what everybody says, but
You got lucky.
can a religion be a look?
Yeah, I look very Jewish. People look at me and they go, "You're Jewish."
Wow.
All the time, every day
Maybe
of my
because
life.
I'm tattooed. And I
Maybe,
did
but you
porn.
also have blonde hair. You
Polish Romanian. You know, it's
Polish,
funny,
yeah.
and my mother and my oldest brother, they're dark hair, dark eyes.
Blonde
but my
and straight
younger
hair.
brother is blonde hair, blue eyes like me. Well, I have green eyes, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think no parents, especially Jewish parents,
And they're
want
very
their
like.
kids to be porn stars. No. I guess no one
I mean, I
wants
didn't
their
grow
kids
up
to be
thinking
porn
I was
stars.
going to do porn anyway.
No one-
so
yeah, no one does.
I don't. I mean, maybe some girls did grow up
So
thinking that. I never thought
I
that.
would. I guess I could forgive an initial bad reaction to it, but did they come around?
What do you mean? In what way? Like, good for you?
So not good for you, but initially, obviously.
no, I moved out. I never moved back in.
But you're an adult. Are you guys cool now? Do you see each other on holidays?
No,
Does she call
we
you
see
and
each
say, "I love
other-
you" and "I'm proud of you"?
Yes. Now, whether
'Cause-
that's surface level or if that's my own battle that I battle still to this day.
All I'm saying is,
Because, like, I mean, I think she sees strength in me because of, but she doesn't know half of what I've been through. She couldn't handle
Right.
it. It's taken me so long. I've stayed away from this kind of stuff, like my whole career. My
Mm-hmm. And by the
career could have
way-
been much huger had I taken a lot of PR jobs, and I chose not to out of respect for my parents.
I was gonna say, by the way, I'm not one of those interviewers that's trying to get you to say something you'll regret. So if you do say something,
Yeah, I don't think you should regret anything.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you say something
And I'm like, take that the fuck out.
I'll take it out. So don't
I wouldn't
feel.
do that anyway.
I'm not here to try and get you to
No, I
say
wouldn't
something.
do that anyway.
Yeah, but if you do,
Okay,
saying
thank you.
be comfortable.
That was kind.
Yeah.
I'm super comfortable.
Yeah.
I've been down this path
Be as
for many
comfortable.
years.
Be as comfortable as you could be in a closed off, curtained room.
Right.
And I locked you in.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of bringing you throwback to the 15-year-old model.
No, I'm not traumatized at all.
Well, you were trying. Oh, I want to. So I want to hear about
The first sex scene that I cried?
Yeah, the first sex scene that you cried.
I don't think I cried. If I could go back to that young child, I was probably 19 or 20 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was crying. It's really funny. I mean, when I think about it, and I just think of like, first of all, when you shoot porn back then, there's got to be at least 100 people there. It's
Literally?
not, I mean, yeah, it's not like 3 of us.
Now, so was this?
So you've got the male talent, you've got me, and the male talent, I believe, was Evan Stone, but I don't know for sure. This is how
heard of
much I
him.
black people out.
Long time ago.
Long time
Half your
ago.
lifetime ago.
Yeah, and you shoot so many fucking movies that it's just like, I don't know, you just don't even think about it. Like if I see pictures, then stuff will come back to me. But so then you've got 4 or 5 cameramen, then you've got assistant cameramen, then you've got mics, people holding mics, then you've got assistants, then you've got makeup.
Now,
then
was
you've
it
got,
like this for all the scenes or just the major ones? Like what about
I would say
Naughty America or an internet
I would say
type
the
of...
majority until the internet happened.
Got it.
Because this is film still.
This
back
is
in the day.
pre-internet, your
Yeah,
first few
pre-internet.
scenes. Okay.
First few scenes, first couple hundred.
First couple hundred. Okay.
Because when did the internet happen? Like 2007, maybe they switched from film. 2006.
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
Yeah. So this is the first scene. There's a lot of people on set.
I
Whole
would say
crew.
I would say a good 40 people
Yeah.
in the room.
Right.
And you're in a master bedroom of a beautiful home. A lot was shot in Chatsworth. Obviously, we know that.
Still is, right, or no?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm so not affiliated with it. I don't know how any of it goes. And we got through oral sex. We got to I think we were in doggy, and I just started crying, like silent tears. And it wasn't like boo-hoo tears. It was just like silent tears were just streaming down my face. Well, that's illegal, right? You can't be crying on film while having sex.
It's
There's
not
a
a good look.
liability for that.
It's not.
They could be sued for
It's
that.
not a big turn on to most people.
I mean, unless you like rape videos, I don't
Right.
know.
So some people, but most people are probably
but
not into that.
This was a huge company, so I just remember the director was like, I think you need to go to the bathroom and pull yourself together. And I think I got up and went to the bathroom, and obviously I came back and finished the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was crying because at this point I knew that I had made the commitment that this is the path that I was going.
You knew this was the next chapter of your life, and you're like, okay, I'm really doing it.
And I'm not turning back.
So on set, you're crying. Like you said, you're not sobbing.
No, I'm just crying silent
But you're
tears.
crying silent tears. People still probably notice. There's 40
Of
people
course.
in the room.
There's a million, and they can see it on camera.
The director says, go to the bathroom,
pull yourself
pull yourself together. Was he nice about it? Was he like, hey, are you okay? Was the male talent?
I have no idea.
Was anyone comforting? Do you remember anyone saying, hey,
I
this
have
is
no
tough?
idea. I'm sure there probably was. At least
Yeah.
makeup, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because that's usually your confidant is makeup.
Makeup girl.
Yeah.
Or guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Mostly girls, I imagine.
Because girls are very catty, and other girls, I kind of kept to myself. I got a very strong reputation of being a bitch because I was always very silent on set. I never really talked to anybody. I did my work
You
and
didn't
I
appear
left.
as though you were enjoying yourself, maybe.
No, not that. I just wasn't overly friendly, and I didn't do any PR. So I wouldn't go to parties. I wouldn't go to events. I wouldn't.
Right.
I stayed away from all of it. So nobody really knew me, and I never crossed. If I didn't want to do something, I would say no. And there were so many girls that wouldn't say no. So then I got a reputation of just being a bitch.
What is something that you said no to?
Anal?
Never did anal.
No.
No anal. And
anything
else?
like my agent was a piece of shit. Right? He was the best agent in the business because you could make millions of dollars, which I did with him. But he was also a piece of shit. So he would blackball you for any kind of little thing. Just all of a sudden for a whole month you wouldn't work if you didn't say yes to certain things.
Got it. And
that's
he
your
did that. So he would
all
punish
the time.
his clients.
All the time. And he would do all types of things. And he's actually being indicted right now. So The
didn't end up
universe is
good for him.
just,
Yeah, yeah.
and it will always come around. That's why it's not your job to judge people, right? Like that's the biggest thing. But he would book me for things that that he knew would be no's. So like I would show up to like Red Light District, which was a big company back in the day, and I'd sit in makeup, and then all of a sudden the assistant would come in and be like, "Okay, so we're doing an anal scene today." Well, I've never shot anal. So I would start to like panic and be like, "I'm not shooting anal.
Yeah.
You've got this whole production.
I'm not doing that.
Thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
if not however much money for the day to do this. Now I'm costing everybody money. Now I feel like I'm doing something wrong." So, and I would call up my agent and be like, "Hey, I'm booked for an anal scene. Like, I don't do
that.
anal. I've never even done anal." And he'd be like, "Just roll with the punches." Like, what?
No, you got to talk to me about that.
Like, what do you mean, roll with the punches?
I imagine-
What does that even mean, roll with the punches?
That's crazy. I imagine that kind of stuff
Crazy.
happens less often now. You think?
I have
Oh, you have no
idea.
idea. Yeah, you're retired.
I don't know.
So, okay.
So I just have to leave set. So
yeah,
my,
so
my
and
option
then-
is roll with the punches or walk off set.
And so then all those people on set go,
Think that-
she sucks.
Yeah, of
She just
course.
ruined our day. She
Of
ruined our
course.
shoot.
She cost me
They
thousands
don't
of
realize,
dollars.
oh, this is a human. She doesn't want to do that.
Or how about you booked me for something that I don't even do?
Yeah, she never agreed to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he'll lie and say, "Oh, she agreed to do her first anal with you,"
Yeah.
even though none of that was true.
Just hoping you would get there and be like, okay.
I don't know. I did all my work sober, so there was a lot of girls that didn't do their work sober.
Right.
There was a lot of girls that did their work sober. I hadn't gotten into like drugs and alcohol yet until I was much older. So
Do you ever have an issue with it or no?
yeah, I had a huge issue with it. When I had the most amount of money and the biggest house and the most cars and the most bags, that's when I had my biggest issue.
What was your drug?
I would say pills, probably.
Just popping pills all day. And so was this during porn or after?
I would say when it was when I knew I was going to leave.
And what was was there a point where you enjoyed doing porn or no? Was it always just a job for you? You're like, this will be
No,
an easy
I
way
think
to
there
make
were
money.
times that I truly enjoyed. At the very beginning, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I thought this was a very safe place to learn who I am as a woman. I was not raised in a household. I was very shamed for my body from a very small age. And I didn't understand that until much later in life, going through lots of therapy. I got my degree in psychology. I had to go through so much fucking shit to dissect, like, what is wrong? Why am I so uncomfortable with my own body? And what made me divert into this field, right? But I knew that this was the safest place that I could learn about my body.
Yeah.
And I built my confidence. I met my husband, soon to be ex-husband.
Was he another performer
no.
or was he behind the scenes?
No, he was just a civilian, a normal person.
Oh, okay. But you made it sound like you met him in.
Well, I mean, like I was
While
doing
you were
porn.
doing it. Yeah.
But no, he was not a part of that business.
Yeah.
There were a lot
Probably
that would
still
come
are.
into the business to make millions of dollars and leave, go buy houses, invest in real estate, do whatever they did.
Just an easy cash grab.
Because back in the day, there was so much money.
So you're doing it, you're liking it. How did you meet your husband?
I met him through mutual friends.
So just
Totally.
through mutual friends, random.
One of my gigs got canceled, and they were like, "Let's go out on the lake." And I was like, "Okay, I never go and hang out with you guys."
So you liked each other. Now it's still
No,
kind
liked
of.
each other. I saw him from a distance, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to marry that guy."
And you did
And I did 6 months later
for 12 years.
for 12 years.
So it was pretty
Still technically
successful marriage compared to a lot of them.
I mean,
What is
I
it?
guess.
Most marriages end in divorce. Pretty sad.
Mine's ending in divorce.
Yeah, but most do. It's pretty sad.
I mean, I
But-
don't know.
How this still kind of blows my mind. It's a pretty common question,
What?
but what kind of guy or how does it work where he's just comfortable with you? Like, all right, I'm going to set. Was there ever any issues with that? Because he obviously knew what he was getting into when he started dating you.
I found out later that he knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he knew my work. I didn't know that at the time
Mm-hmm.
when I met him, and even when I got married to him. I did not know that.
He didn't tell you till way later that
No,
he
I
knew
mean,
you
maybe
were-
not way later. We got
Well,
married in
after
6
you-
months,
okay,
right?
got it,
So
got it.
at some point, he told me.
Uh-huh.
I also found out that he had slept with multiple girls from the industry.
Okay.
And then come to find out, he slept with pretty much all of LA. So
So he's a good looking guy.
he's a very good looking guy.
Yeah.
We have very beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very sexual. And the first time it's funny, the first time I ever had sex with him, he turned, like, when we're done in his house, like before we had gotten married, he turns around and he's like, "You're really bad in bed. I don't know how you have a career." That was his first thing to me. I was like, "Oh, okay, really build my confidence, huh?"
But you liked it.
I guess I did.
You liked the negging.
I was in a very dark. I attracted a dark energy. Do you know what I mean? I found out later recently that I married my mother. I used to think women married their father, but that was a huge misconception. What I've learned is that women actually marry their mother. And
all women?
Not all women.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a statistic. Who knows,
Yeah.
right? Where do they get the polls? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why I got my psychology degree. I was trying to figure out, like, who the fuck am I? What is wrong with me? I went to therapy for all these years. Then I went to college to get a psychology degree.
And do you think that worked, getting the psychology degree? Were you able
think
to
it's all helped.
self-analyze yourself?
Of course.
figure out
All these
your
questions
shit?
I had asked in all of my teachers, like all of my classes. Oh my God, I'd ask so many questions.
So
Like,
you got to the point where you were not enjoying the job
Work?
anymore.
I don't think that it was that I wasn't enjoying the job. I grew up very poor. My mother grew up wealthy. She married outside of the religion. That's probably why I don't look Jewish.
There you go.
There's the bomb. And her family disowned her financially.
But you said you grew up poor, but your mom married rich. So
No, my mom grew up very wealthy in New York City.
Oh,
New
got
York
it,
Jew,
but you-
right? The
okay.
epitome of the New York Jew. She then married a Southerner, deep South.
poor guy.
Right. Very spiritual man. I'm super close
Money
to my
isn't
father.
everything.
Money is nothing.
Yeah.
And so her family kind of disowned her in the sense of he's not Jewish. That's a huge no-no.
Yeah.
And he's poor. Two big no-nos. So they kind of abandoned her. She had 3 kids, very young. 22 years old, she has 3 kids. They're married, right? They've been married almost 40 years now. So where was I going with this? So I grew up very poor. So there was a lot of fighting in the house about money. So in my childlike mind, I thought money would bring happiness.
Sure.
There was also a lot of fighting about give me attention, show me love from her. Why do you look at these magazines of these women? So I think there was a lot of confusion in my mind of to feel validation, I need a man to validate me. I need to be pretty and I need to be rich. That is what I came to the conclusion of.
And I think that's normal for most women to think
Really?
that at one point in their life. Sure.
don't
I
know.
think every woman.
I think I thought it for so many years that that's what led me into this path.
Right.
Now, if I said that to my mother, she would probably smack me across the face because she would take no accountability, right?
I think most people, especially as a child or a young adult, they go, I want to make money.
Well, I
I
don't know.
wanna-
It depends. If you come from it depends on how you hear money, right? Money is an energy. So if you hear money in a negative connotation, like money only brings you happiness, that's not true. We know that. Now, is it nice to have money to pay your bills? Of course. Is
Yeah.
it nice
It's
to
nice
take
to be
vacation?
comfortable.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is it good to have a big desire? Of course. I'm not doubting that. But if you think that your happiness is only going to come from material or money, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's wrong.
And that's where I was headed. So my issue with drugs and being miserable didn't come from the porn. It came from being so successful. When I was in a multi-million-dollar house in Sherman Oaks behind these gorgeous gates and had every bag you could imagine and so many cars I couldn't drive and a boat and vacations and fly all my friends first class all around the world, and I would just go to Japan for a month and go here for a month and do whatever the fuck I wanted, that's when I was on the most amount of drugs. Because here I am with all this money,
Still not
all
happy.
this stuff, and now I'm the most unhappy I've ever been in my entire life. So what the fuck is the problem? Can you curse?
Yeah.
Okay. So what? I guess if you could talk about porn, you could probably curse, right? So that was my first awakening.
So what was the problem? Or what did you...
I didn't know yet. That was my first awakening. That was like the first moment that I was like, okay, what is wrong? So I took like a couple $1,000s worth of pills and dumped them down the toilet and just went cold turkey sober.
Okay.
And I mean, I probably took like 30 to 40 pills a day.
Did anyone say to you, hey, you have a drug problem? Or you just knew you were...
Everybody around me was on drugs.
Right. So no one was telling you to get sober, really. There was no one in your life.
I think my baby daddy was definitely saying, like, you have a pill problem.
Your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the time.
Soon to be ex-husband.
Right.
I call him baby daddy.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put
But
it.
at the time, he was your husband.
Yes.
And was he
would
on
say
pills
that
too,
I
or
had
no?
no.
So he was
I
clean.
introduced him to drugs. The first time that we went to Vegas together, and we probably had like, I don't know, a couple pounds of cocaine. And that was like his first introduction to like, I mean, we would line a table this long of cocaine and just snort it. The fact that I'm alive is just unbelievable. You know what I mean? The fact that I had 2 beautiful, healthy children after putting my body through this is unbelievable.
But I'm trying to even get to the point. It takes a lot. If no one around you is telling you have a drug problem, you didn't have.
Well, everybody
any,
else is doing drugs, so who's going to tell you?
So your husband a little bit at the time was saying
He
you have
said
a
I
drug
had a pill
problem
problem because my mood would be like this.
Right, but you haven't had any OD issues. You weren't.
No.
You didn't go to the hospital for overdosing.
No.
You just had.
No,
you knew
God
in your
kept me
heart,
alive.
yeah, you knew that you're like, I have a drug problem. I need to cut this shit out.
I don't know if I would say I had a drug problem because I don't believe in the word addict, but I knew that I was in complete darkness and I was trying to be connected to the light. And when you take drugs, you have that little spark of light. It's like that flash of light. And so I constantly wanted that flash of light because I couldn't get that light naturally because my soul needed some kind of connection and I had none. That was the issue. But I didn't know that then. Then I just knew I'm miserable and I have all this stuff and why am I unhappy? This is what I thought I needed.
So you quit cold turkey,
So I quit cold turkey and I enrolled in college.
and that's when you dropped out or stopped doing porn.
I didn't necessarily stop doing porn. I just slowed way down.
You cut way
I
back.
slowed way down.
So semi-retired. you could say.
Yeah, that was 2010, 2009, early 2010. Then 2011, I got pregnant with my first child.
And was that a planned thing?
It was a planned thing on my part.
A surprise for the husband?
Oh no, it was definitely planned. I'd never been on birth control and I had never gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
But it was you either get me pregnant or I divorce you. It was
What
an ultimatum.
Got it. But
That was the first problem in our marriage.
Was he a good dad?
I think he has the capabilities of being a phenomenal father.
Got it.
It's a tricky thing when you
fine.
say is someone a good dad because I used to always go around saying he's a phenomenal father, but then I slowly started being told that to be a phenomenal father, you also have to treat the mother with the utmost respect. That's part of being a phenomenal father.
Got it.
So I think it's a tricky line. Does he take really good care of the children when he's around them? Absolutely.
That's good.
Is he present now that he's out of the house? Absolutely. He also was in the restaurant bar business, so he was around a lot of drugs and he worked all night and slept all day. I also think that he signed up for a specific type of lifestyle. I married a porn star. We had massive amount of orgies. We did a lot of drugs. We traveled all over. Who wants to have a baby?
Yeah.
Like, at 26 years old, I was 26 years old when I had her. That's very young. I got, so it's like, whoa, wrench in the plan. What the fuck? I think that was the first.
You're ruining the fun.
That was the first thing that he did not sign up for. So I think that's where it went left turn. Because now you have a baby, you nurse the baby, now you're going to go back to work, but I'm not going back to that old lifestyle. I'm no longer doing drugs.
you're
Obviously
mom.
I wasn't doing drugs when I got pregnant. Let's
Right.
clarify that. I was sober before I got pregnant. I was in college and I was on the path of finding God, really. My spirituality. Let's say that instead of God. God's too big of a metaphysical to talk about.
But it is God. You're Jewish.
Sure, but we don't really talk about God because I don't go to temple. I study Kabbalah, so it's all spirituality.
Now I'm uneducated on this matter. What's
Kabbalah
the difference
is
between Kabbalah and temple?
Kabbalah is spirituality.
Got it. So Kabbalah
So you still read from the
is
Torah.
like hippie Jews.
No, you don't have to be Jewish at all. A lot of people come that are not Jewish. It's not a Jewish thing at all. I would say it's what Judaism came from.
Got it. Do you know what Kabbalah is?
Look it up. It's phenomenal. I would say it saved my life. I would say getting pregnant with my baby saved my life, and then this saved my life.
That's great.
Oh my God, it's huge.
So
And now I'm raising them like that because I wouldn't want to raise them in
when
temple because they're
you-
Jewish.
went through this big 180 that your husband did not sign up for.
Yes. So I started this path of growth.
And this was 6 years into your marriage, halfway through your marriage, roughly.
Well, I got married in 2008, and she was born in 2012.
Okay, so
4 years
So 4
into
years
it.
in the marriage, you make this big change that he didn't sign up for. Was his initial reaction no? Was his initial reaction, okay, I'll try and do this with you?
No.
I'll try and take it on?
No, his initial reaction was the opposite direction.
But you were able to
Stay for so many more years.
stay for so many
Yeah.
many more years. So
I
how
would
did
say-
you get past that big bump in your relationship?
We never did.
You never did. Okay,
No.
so it was basically
I would say that
a slow downhill from there.
I think it was like an illusion in my own mind. Like, one, I have two parents. Like, I believe that my parents should have got divorced many years ago, many, when we were children. And I've had talks with my dad about why he stayed, which is not something I'm going to talk about. But you don't stay for the children, but a lot of people think you do stay for the children. And in actuality, it creates so much trauma on the children. Another reason why I went through therapy, right? So I was staying for the child at the time. I think I also was in the illusion of believing your words, but not watching your actions. So I thought that eventually he would wake up. And we're all on our own journey at our own time. And I know that he has such a potential and there's so much light in him and I can see that potential, but that's not who he is right now.
Right.
Or back then.
So party was hoping, waiting for him to go, you're right, it's time to grow up and
yes,
be a
let's
dad
evolve
and be adults.
Yes. Yes. Because I wanted to keep evolving, but the universe was like blocking my evolvement because I had this dark cloud sitting over top of me. And then our consciousness started to be different. Like the way I wanted to raise her and the way that he would react to situations are night and day. So now there becomes conflict. Well, I know what that was like growing up and I don't want that. But I do want another baby and I don't want a bunch of baby daddies. So let's fast forward 5 more years, right?
Now you got 2.
And now I've got 2. And she's a baby still. She just turned 18 months. But I had to get out.
As a former adult star, you have all these videos of you on the internet. Does your oldest know about that? Do you have a plan for that of telling your kids?
I think she knows some stuff because we had some issues with a school situation that I'll tell you privately. I can't tell you on the air.
Okay, no worries.
Just out of respect for...
No problem.
Just because... Let me tell you why. Because people are such fucking shitty people, and they're so judgmental, and they want to be your friends, and they want to know all about this juicy details because porn is so around us in LA.
Yeah, everyone watches it.
And even though it's so taboo, it's so mainstream now. And so here they see some girl that's pretty, that's married, that's got a kid, that's going to this expensive school, and they want to get to know her, and they want to be friends with her. And then they want to sabotage her, right? I mean, but I'm no victim, and I'll take accountability for allowing them into our lives. Lawsuits, all types of shit, right?
Damn.
I didn't do anything wrong. I can put it that way, that I didn't do anything wrong. And the crazy part of all of it is that they still are watching me. Like, you know how you can...
Are you still at the same school with those people, or you switched?
No. God, no. I'm not anywhere near any of those people.
Oh, but they're just watching you on social media and all that. They're still watching your life. They're like, let's check in on this lady who we tried to ruin her life.
Isn't that crazy? Is that so weird? Like, what kind of balls do you have?
People like drama.
I guess.
People
or maybe
like
it's just, like, to me, I'm kind of like, because I've ignored you, because I didn't go after you when I should have. Like, they broke so many laws, and I have one of the most powerful attorneys, and, like, within 2 seconds, it was all shut down, right? That day, it was all shut down.
That's good.
And I don't know if it's because they wanted me to come after them. I don't know if it's because I just cut them out of my life cold turkey. Like, I literally picked her up from school that day, and we never spoke to anybody from that school ever again. And these are all names that you would know. That's what's so sad. And it's like, do you live in a glass house? Like, but when people go low, I go high. You don't fight the darkness. So I'm not going to get into a lawsuit. Even if I know I could win, I still wouldn't go after you because that's just not who I am. I'd rather just be like, bye. 1, I don't want your dirty money.
Yeah, you don't want that negative
2,
energy in your life.
I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
And 3, the biggest blessing was that you brought me this attorney. And now I've had so many projects with him, and my life has done. That's why they say, like, you never, like, when you approach a situation, you never know if it's really a bad situation or is it a blessing. This horrific situation
you learn from it,
turned out to be the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
Like, they gave me literally an angel. And now he's like a family friend, and there's more money I've made with him than I could have ever gotten from them.
I was going to ask you, so you go to school, you semi-retire from porn. What do you do next for money? I mean, you probably had a lot saved because you were making a lot at the time.
I had a lot saved.
Your husband at the time had a job?
Had a job.
So you had money coming in there?
Yeah, so he was paying and what I did was I downsized. I actually filed for bankruptcy. So I dumped all those, let's back up, right? I dumped all those pills in the thing. Before I got pregnant, I was like, I'm not doing this. My agent said, I'm going to sue you. You have this many projects. I'm going to sue you for this amount of money. Because you already signed contracts to do these projects.
And you're like, I don't want to do them anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have every right to say I don't want to do it. I filed for bankruptcy. I get out of this house, this multi-million-dollar house. I get out of all these cars, and I move into a small apartment. It wasn't that small, like a townhouse apartment. I mean, there's a huge difference between a 7,000 square foot house and 1,100
it's
square
small
foot.
compared to what you were used to.
Totally different lifestyle. And I start to figure out who I am. I go to college, I get pregnant, and we stayed in that apartment for 7 years, I want to say almost. And then we moved into a house, and now I'm in a different house because of the split or whatever. But I just downsized. I downsized my whole life, and I started over completely. So I humbleized myself. One, I lost all my friends who I thought were friends, because when you stop paying for people, people don't want to be around you. I sold a lot of stuff because I just didn't need it. I'm still selling stuff on Poshmark to this day. I'm still trying to unload all these fucking bags. Why you need so many fucking handbags? I don't know. It's so ridiculous. Why do you need so many fucking cars?
Weird girl thing.
I don't. You know what it is? It's called a I don't know who I am thing, and I need people to acknowledge me for the wrong reasons.
And part of it's just hypnotized by media and, oh, you're a girl. This is what we're supposed to like. We love shopping. Oh, look
It's
at
so
all these other
stupid.
girls. Oh, look
It's
at.
the let me find happiness in stuff rather than just naturally being
And you're
happy.
comparing yourself to others. Like, for example, me,
Horrible.
I don't care about cars at all. But then I see all my friends have BMWs. I'm like, well, shit, maybe I should get a BMW so people think that
You're cool.
I'm as cool as they are,
So
but it's so
stupid.
stupid, yeah.
So stupid.
But you can't
when
help
think
it. You
about
can't help. You see
Yeah, you
everyone
can't
around
help it. You don't do it.
doing all these
Well,
things.
LA's a tough place for it.
You can't
Like-
help but having the feeling a little bit when all your friends are doing something to go, well, you at least have the thought, should I be doing that too?
Or you could be like,
Yeah.
all your friends are fucking lost.
Or that.
And they need to wake up.
Right.
And you could lead
But sometimes
by
you have
example.
to think about it to get to
Of
that
course,
conclusion.
of course. So you asked me, how am I ever going to tell her? I think she kind of knows something
Got it.
because of the school situation.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that I didn't do anything wrong. She also knows that people attack you for things that are, I don't even know how you would word, like people judge you for things that are none of their business. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so I think she learned a little bit because it was something very specific that they were saying that I did. And it wasn't true. And so she heard that story. And then just recently, I had shown her some magazines that I was in, like Inked and FHM and like those kinds of magazines where it's like sexy but not fucking pussy spread, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like they're totally different. And she was like, wow, Mom, like I'm not going to do that. Or like I've taken her, I got my nipples pierced before our second child and I took her with me and she was like, okay, I'll never do that. I raised her in a very desensitized environment because I
Right.
was raised the exact opposite. I was told nothing and I was so shamed about my body that I want her to be so proud of who she is. And I want her to be so smart to the point of, I'll give you an example of a story. We're in the bathroom years ago. She was young, maybe 5 years old, with another girl,
Girl her age. Yeah.
and I'm changing my tampon. And the little girl is like, what is that? And it's not that they can actually see, right? So let's not make this weird.
Right.
But I'm a woman with two other girls in the bathroom. And my daughter, she's like, oh, Mom's on her period. She's changing her tampon. You'll get your period later. 5-year-old.
Yeah.
The other girl's like, what?
Yeah. Has
So
no
it
idea.
just shows the difference in the households. Now, I'm not saying how you're raising your child is right or how I'm raising my child is right. I just know that how
That's the
I
choice
was
you made.
raised
Yeah.
was wrong. And so I'm going to make sure that my child is extremely knowledgeable about her body. This is science. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm cranky. This is why I'm craving chocolate. This is why I'm bleeding. This is why I don't have a baby because babies are coming out. You know, like biology. When I was gonna give birth to her sister, we watched a bunch of YouTube videos of birth. She wanted to see what it was
She's
like.
informed. She knows.
She didn't necessarily like the videos.
She'll be ready for the world.
But she's
Things
like,
won't phase her.
no, she's so incredibly enlightened. And part of him, he doesn't agree with a lot of that. But
I know for me as a kid, I just wanted to know everything.
me too. And I
was
learned
a
everything on the
sponge.
street.
Yeah,
And
and
I don't want my children doing that.
And if someone told me you can't know about that, oh, you're
Then
too
I'm gonna
young,
go get it.
Then I want it even more.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And that's what curiosity kills the cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that is. And I was lucky enough to grow up in the country. Like, I'm stealing cars, my parents' cars at 12 years old, driving down the street with my best friend, and the police officer would stop us and tell us to put on our seatbelt and let us go. You do that in LA, you know, you're going to jail. There's
Yeah,
a
a
huge
lot.
problem. So knowing that I'm raising my children in this environment, they have to be informed. They have to know what's up.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to be in a room where a man is locking her in the room, nor do I want her to seek validation in a man.
Or if she's in that situation,
Know
for
what
her
to
be
do.
able to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
To be aware that stuff goes on in the world.
Yeah. But that's like the $64,000 question. Like, how do you tell your child you did porn? I don't think it's something that I'm going to have to actually sit down and tell her. I think she's naturally going to understand. You know, like, I mean, she's seen me on Californication. My boobs were out.
I love that show. I don't remember you on
I was
that.
on an episode or two of those. I was on 2 episodes of that. And in one of the episodes, like, I start getting undressed because we're supposed to have sex, but we don't actually have sex. But it starts with like me undressing my shirt in one of the episodes. And she sees this. This is cable TV.
Yeah.
Was it cable TV?
It was Showtime, yeah,
Okay,
so-
whatever.
yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing.
Premium-
I mean, they have more
premium
sex
cable.
stuff on Showtime and HBO than like soft porn these days.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Tons of nudity.
Like, I don't think like the porn thing is really something that's like that mind-boggling to me. It's more of society
Sure.
that I have to deal with, like the school situation or like other kids. That's why I want to kind of get ahead of it. But that kind of did. That was my biggest fear. And boom, it happened and it's already over.
And do you ever see yourself going back into it? Pornography?
No.
Done.
Yeah, no.
What do you think the next chapter is? Just being a mom? Do you have career pursuits? That you
I'm
wanna
writing
do?
a book that I've been working on for a long time. I say I've been writing it for a long time. It's actually written, but I just have a problem with like letting go of it. It's a fiction novel. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's a 3-part series. I totally see it being made into a TV show. I can already like,
And it's already done.
it's already done.
So why don't? What's stopping you?
It's just like, even though it's fictional, it's vulnerable. There's a lot of vulnerable moments in the character.
Have you sent it to close friends to read,
No.
or any like an
No.
editor, anything
No,
like that?
just my attorney.
What'd he say?
Oh, he loves it, of course.
Well,
But he's ready for it.
man up, dude.
I know. I've got to find the right publishing people and like, because I know once 1 is done, then I've got to get on to 2 and 3 because it's a 3-part series. And I know it's going to be made into something big. So it's like, I just have to.
Even if it doesn't,
the
it
balls.
feels good to just
No, it
put
will. I
something
already know
out there
that.
into the world. You know, put a piece of
I'm
art.
not putting something out there for nothing. I am not doing that.
I put stuff
It's
out
all or
there for
nothing.
nothing
You
all
do?
the time.
You do?
All
it's
the time.
not for nothing.
I think
though.
everything I've made is for nothing, but I still like it. Still,
No,
it's not
I'm doing
about
it to
that.
share, to help other people.
Yeah.
I wish that I could have read something like this when I was young.
There
That would
you
have been
go.
amazing.
There you go. So maybe
That's why I'm doing
That's your
it.
motivation.
But I also have to
Help
get
other
past the
people.
part of like, even though you change characters and you change all these things, like your closest family members, they'll be exposed to things that they have no idea about. And so it's all timing, right? I'm going to put it out this year. That I know.
Okay.
He's already put a time limit on it. I have to go through the divorce thing also because,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
One
for
thing
certain
at a
reasons.
time. Yeah.
And for, you know, other reasons. But I have to let go of the fact that I'm living for myself and I'm not living to make somebody else happy or comfortable. That's my biggest thing. Like, I don't want to hurt my parents when they read certain stories,
Got
even
it.
though it's fictionalized. If you understand what I'm
Maybe
saying.
put it out as a another identity. Maybe put a different name
No,
on
they're
it.
using my SAG name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they won't do. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll own it. I already do own it. I mean, I own everything about my life.
So,
But it's like these are stories that are way deeper than cocaine. Like,
right.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That even though it's fictional, you have a lot of real personal connections in the story, and that someone reading would go, that part's not fictional.
Yeah, did Lindsay
Yeah.
really do that?
Yeah.
I wonder.
So the theme of this show
Yeah.
is unlicensed therapy.
I know, that's funny. When you sent me that, at first I was like, what is he, a therapist? And then I was like, I have a therapist that I pay a lot of money to. And then I thought, no,
I'm not
it's
a therapist,
that I know.
but
But I like a different perspective.
I could help you.
Okay, help me.
Because
Tell me
anyone
how to
in the
be a
world-
gazillionaire. Again.
Is that your goal? Is that?
No. I mean, yeah.
It seems like, okay, I don't know you, but I follow you on social media, and it seems like, you know, you're doing all right financially. Are you having any money issues? Are you?
I mean, I don't have money issues.
I mean, you know,
but
how,
I want to make more money.
You know how to make more money better than I do because I don't have any money. But you have. You already said earlier you have a book you're sitting on. You want to make money? Put out your book.
I know.
There's something.
But I'm not putting out the book for the money. I'm putting out the book to help
Sure,
others.
but nothing wrong if it helps you make a little money.
A lot of money.
You put a lot of work into the book.
My whole life.
There you go. So if you
Thousands
made a little,
of journal
so if you
entries.
made some money off of it, it's not hurting anyone.
I know. I'm kind of trying to like, you have to like reteach. How do you retrain people? Like the majority, okay, so how I knew that I was going to change my life is like Twitter, you're all your voice, right? Mm-hmm. So Twitter, I have like 500,000 followers.
That's another way to make money off social media.
Right. Instagram,
Podcasting.
I have less than 100,000. That's all body image. So to me, it was like the universe saying, okay, using your voice is obviously more powerful than using your body because this platform is growing nonstop and it's all voice, where this platform is decreasing. The more you use your voice, the more people you lose because it's more body image and it's not even real. But I'm trying to retrain fans of 20 years to not want to see my body and to listen to my heart and my soul.
Yeah, you'll probably
That's
lose
an
a lot of
uphill
them.
battle.
Yeah, you'll lose a lot of them, but
Yeah, I have.
But a lot of them will.
You have to
be
gain
cool
new
with
ones.
it.
And I've got
Yeah.
to find females because females really are the ones that like back everything. That's my
Well,
hardest thing.
I think it's like you said. You
You
got
just
a
keep
book you're
going.
sitting on. You wanted to start a podcast. You got a little core
I know, I
following.
say all that stuff.
Those are all ways to make money, but it's tough. You're also a mom. You got 2 kids
With no help.
with no help.
I know. Because I'm petrified because I went to psychology, got my degree in psychology, and we had to
And
read
you
all
can't
those
make money in
trauma
that.
stories.
It's hard to make money in that.
No, it literally, getting my degree in psychology, I think traumatized me more than anything
I think psychology is the most popular degree there is.
because it's nothing.
So it's almost it's hard. It's very hard to make money in psychology.
I don't want to
It's
make any
number
money in
one major.
psychology. I went
Yeah.
there just to try to figure myself out.
Right.
But what I learned about therapists, most therapists, is they like to ruminate around your issues because that's how they make money. If they actually fix you, then they make no money. So they don't actually want to fix you. It's really a hoax.
So I have a ranking board of issues that is going to motivate you to bring up a better issue than money. So the first,
I don't have a money issue.
I'll tell you.
I have a divorce issue.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Not really.
Maybe
I don't
that's
have an
something.
issue. I mean,
This is the second episode where we're doing this segment. The first episode was my friend Trey, and his issue was his girlfriend wants to peg him,
what does that mean? Like fuck them in the butt?
fuck him in the butt with a strap on.
Okay, I've done a few of those. That will destroy
So-
their relationship.
Oh, interesting. I told him, but so his issue, how he brought up is how for him to get out of it, and I told him,
Say no.
tell her you don't want to do it. It's that simple.
What kind of woman wants
Why-
to do that anyway?
His girlfriend, I guess, I don't know her, but why would that destroy their relationship? Though now I'm curious.
For me, that kind of destroys the masculinity of the man.
Oh God, so she'll look at him in a different way after
Absolutely. You're completely dominating him.
Mm-hmm.
So then at what point is he masculine to you?
that. Right. There you go. I'm gonna
I
have
would
Trey,
not
I'm gonna
be
have
into
Trey
that.
listen to that.
I would not be into that at
I
all.
wouldn't be
I mean, I
into
did it on film
nothing-
a handful of times.
Sure.
And
No, nothing about that sounds like
there's
something I would want to
nothing
do.
about that turned me on. They had to pay me a shit ton of money, way more money than I would make like on my normal scenes. And I just felt like
In one sense, that's good because it seems. I don't want to say easier than a normal scene, but
no, it's
nothing's.
much harder than a normal scene.
Oh, it is. I was gonna say at least
Because to
nothing's
me, a
entering you.
man is strong and protective and, takes care of you and like,
Yeah.
and a female is feminine and I'm a pretty strong female. So I don't know. Like I used to do a lot of domination scenes because I'm such a strong female, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I couldn't like go have lunch with the man.
Because you're just
'Cause I was just
he's
like-
a little bitch.
Exactly.
After that day.
Exactly.
You're like, dude, I can't go get lunch with you. I just fucked you.
Exactly. So,
That's so
I would
funny.
say, do not do that, Trey, whoever Trey is.
It's funny.
Bad idea.
Flip that around. What
Or
if,
he might enjoy it and they might
Imagine-
fucking love it and that just
imagine
might be
if
their
a
thing.
guy did that though. I can't get lunch with you. I just fucked you.
To a girl?
To a girl.
Like in her ass or just in general?
In general. You can't flip it. It's
But
funny
that's
that
natural.
and I know, but it's just funny in today's with all the sexism bullshit and all the not bullshit, but you know what I mean. Where if a girl,
We've all gotten way too sensitive.
yeah, we've all gotten so sensitive.
It's so stupid.
I couldn't imagine if it was flipped the other way. What's the hardest part about going through a divorce? Is it that your once best
The
friend?
75 pages of paperwork.
Are you guys cordial about the whole thing?
Of course.
You are. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I
great.
see him all the time.
That's amazing.
That's why I
Think
said
about
one
how
day,
many
I
divorces
said,
end. you know?
yeah, I've seen him in my family.
Yeah.
That's why I said the other day, I wrote on Twitter, I was like, would it be easier to go through a divorce if you hated the person or if you love the person? Like, which one's harder? Because there's such a thin line between love and hate, right?
Well, if you're still in love with the person, that might
No, I'm
be
definitely
harder.
not in love with him, but I love him unconditionally.
Then I think that makes it easier.
And I don't know. I think it makes it harder because he has caused me so much pain, and I have to rise above the pain that I have. The ways that he's let me down, I have to rise above all of that, and I have to smile and I have to eat crow every time I see him when the kids are around.
Right. But that'll get easier. Time heals all wounds.
Maybe.
It'll at least get a little easier.
I would hope so if he wakes up.
Physically waking up or mentally waking up?
Spiritually waking
up. Waking up. Even if he doesn't, it'll still get easier because you're going to, okay, this is just what I'm dealing with in my life. This is my life.
Yeah, I think it's more of my own lesson to accept that he did not
Yeah.
protect me the way that I needed him to protect me. Yeah.
And maybe you'll
Absolutely.
find someone that will, or maybe you'll just protect yourself.
I do not want to be single the rest of my life. I'm 36 years old. Thank you for wishing that on me.
I didn't wish it. I'm saying maybe. Who knows? I can't. It's out of my control.
Right before I got married, I was like, I always went from, I was a serial person, like one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing right now of stay single. Like, get your career going, switch everything
Be
around.
happy with yourself and then allow someone else
because
into it.
that's
Yeah.
what I was always doing. So I had this 3-month period before I met the guy that I married, and I would just like randomly bring home men to my house.
Sure.
And
Normal thing.
I guess. And there was this one really hot guy behind the bar, and I don't know if I was drunk or if he was actually just super hot. And so I was like, dude, when you get off, come to my house. This is where I live, blah, blah, blah. He shows up. Poor guy. He'll never know. And we're in bed, and he gets undressed, and I am such an advocate for safe sex. Like, you have to use protection, guys.
Yeah, you're like condom.
Girls, bring
Especially
your
with a
own
guy.
condoms.
Especially a guy you don't know.
Just anybody in general. Like, people think porn people are, we're tested all the fucking time. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we're the cleanest people you can fuck with. I still wouldn't fuck you, right?
I
like,
hooked up
without a
with a
condom.
girl in the red light district in Amsterdam.
Oh,
And
I love that area.
It was Amsterdam's beautiful, but so I got a prostitute on the red
Right?
light,
I love it.
and the most common question is, "Did you use a condom?" I'm like, first off, yes, of course, but also, do you think she would let me do it without a
No.
condom?
Because they don't trust you.
Yeah, it's like
They're super clean.
They get tested more than I do.
Of course.
Yeah.
So he's there, and he gets undressed, and his penis turns out to be so small. And I was so disappointed.
Was it like a micro penis?
It's so bad. I shouldn't even be saying
Was
this.
it like this small? Was it that small?
The
Was it
condom
just,
would not go on the penis.
Now was it?
And it was a regular condom.
Was it hard? Was his penis hard and still really
Yeah.
small?
Oh, it wasn't really small when
Or
it was
was it-
hard, but it was just not. I mean, it was
So
small.
he was having a. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get the full picture of it.
Micro is like an actual thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that.
So it was a
But
small
it was
thing?
just a very small.
But was
penis.
it more? Was it small or was he having impotence issues?
No, he was rock hard.
He was rock hard. Okay.
And like, I even gave him the benefit of the doubt. I tried to put the condom on. I let him get on top of me because I was like, "You're so gorgeous," and then I just was like, "You have to go. This is not going to work." And I made him leave my house.
Oh my God. I mean,
And I lived kind of far at the time from where he drove from.
it's not.
But I don't
You
know
did
how to
nothing
not be
wrong.
authentic.
You did nothing wrong,
Like,
but you
I'm
weren't
not gonna
into it?
enjoy this.
Yeah.
You're so gorgeous, but I can't get past the fact that I can't feel you inside of me. I've had
You
no
did nothing
babies.
wrong, but that just sounds so uncomfortable
For the man.
for both of you. I would if I like. Okay, for example.
Because size really doesn't matter. I'm not saying
But it
size.
does a little bit.
It does in the
If
sense of like,
guy's
I want to be
really
able to
small.
feel you
Yeah, it does.
in me.
Yeah, but okay, that situation has happened
But
to
if
me.
you're very
reversed.
sexual, you can make up for that.
So he didn't go down.
I
on
don't
you.
know. I didn't even give him a chance. Like,
Okay.
I was
turned on.
brutal back in the day. I was not a nice person.
I was gonna say I've had the reverse situation where I've been with girls, and
Oh God.
they come over, whatever we are, they get undressed, and it's not what I had in mind.
Like they have a penis?
That's not, luckily hasn't
That's never
happened yet.
happened? Okay.
But maybe okay. Here's an
Like it
example.
smells? Or it
That's
just
happened
doesn't
once.
look good?
Okay, we'll use that as an example.
Well, which one was it?
I've had both, but I've had a girl once where her vagina smelled.
Oh my God. This is why I
So
teach my
bad.
fucking 7-year-old, wash your fucking hootsie. She
So
calls
bad.
it a hootsie.
And in my head, I was like, completely turned off, right?
Yeah, pH is everything.
But I didn't have it in me to say,
Go home.
I still sucked it up and had sex with her.
Did you eat her out?
No, I did not. No. No, I don't.
You get like a dental dam?
Because then that'd be mean because then I'd be
So did you smell after you told her to go home? Were you like disgusting?
No, I know.
pH
So that's the
really,
thing. I'm too nice.
Did you get like a UTI or anything?
So I'm too nice. I didn't bring it up at all. I didn't tell her you have a
You let her
smaller
spend the
vagina.
night?
No, she didn't spend the night. Luckily,
Okay.
this was during the day. It was like a girl I had hooked up with once before.
Oh.
I later found out that she had a yeast infection and didn't know.
Did you get one?
No. Luckily,
How'd
I
you
did
find
not.
out then?
Because
She told you?
I didn't.
Those transfer.
So this is what I did. So I never told her that she had
She's
she had a
gonna know
smelly
now.
vagina, but I basically didn't want to see her again after that.
And
obviously.
she figured it out?
So she was probably like, "Oh, why is he not hitting me up anymore?"
Because the first time she wasn't like that.
first time she wasn't like this. So
How, as a woman, do you not know you have a yeast infection?
I don't know. She was young. I don't know.
That's why you have to learn your body. It's so important.
But she texted me months
And
later
said,
and
"Hey,
says,
by the
"Hey,
way."
just by the way, last time I saw you, I had a yeast infection. Didn't know, so my vagina doesn't stink anymore." I was on the road recently with a comedian, and he brought this girl out to dinner with us. And
I'm the kind of girl that's like, ew, my vagina smells gross. Let me go take a shower. Or ew, I didn't drink
maybe
enough
she was so
water.
Used to it. I don't know. It blew my mind.
That
too,
was
but
weird.
This happened. I think some girls are so used to their own smell they don't smell.
Well, there's the thing where you actually do smell. There's like a disease where like it's like a
Yeah.
bacterial infection,
Right.
Where you smell, but there's no other symptoms.
I was in Lake Tahoe doing shows, performing there at this improv, and one of the comedians met this girl after the show.
Of course.
And we all went to dinner together.
And you guys all had sex with her.
I wish. No, actually, I don't wish. But I wish that
If
I
only
met
I
girls
knew
after the
you
show.
10 years ago. Oh boy.
I wish that for sure. I probably would have been awkward, and you wouldn't have been into me 10 years ago. But so we were out to eat at this restaurant after the show, and I meet them there. He's like, "Hey, come meet us at this restaurant." So I go there, I sit down, and I'm sitting next to the girl he's with, and she reeks of BO. Like, she smells so bad. I'm not that close to her. I'm like,
But some people don't believe in
right here.
deodorant.
Whatever it was, I don't know if it's her belief, but I smell it from here to the point where I am
Ready to
turning
get
my-
up and-
No, I'm eating with my face pointed this way, and I'm breathing out in between bites. Just I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm also thinking like he has to smell her, right? But he didn't, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for him.
He
'cause
didn't smell her?
I guess not, and I don't want to be the one to tell him
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, the chick you're with stinks. I don't want to ruin his fun if he's planning on having sex with her. Then
Did he have sex with her?
So he did. So they leave and they go to their hotel room, and the next day he texted me. He goes, "Dude, that chick's vagina smelled bad," and I'm like, I didn't want to say anything, but it wasn't her
Ew.
vagina. She smelled bad. She was a smelly person. She had major BO. I smelled it from the table, and he's like, "Why didn't you say anything?"
Yeah, like,
And
what
I'm
kind of friend are you?
I'm like, I didn't want to ruin your fun. I didn't want to ruin your night. So,
No. I'd
It
be like,
happens.
no.
and I'm sure it's happened
I'm a
both
totally
ways.
different wingman than
I'm sure
that.
it's happened. I'm saying it, girls, but I'm sure I've had days where I smell bad or something.
Yeah, and
It
you know, some
happens.
people are attracted to certain like pheromones. Like we all are
I
attracted.
don't think anyone's attracted to that pheromone that I smelled that night. There is no one.
Gross. Smell is keeping your body clean is so important.
Breath, good
Like,
breath. If you start making out with someone and their mouth tastes bad, ruins the whole fun.
Or like
I've
if
ended
they
things
just
with
kiss
girls
bad,
from smoking
it's
cigarettes.
bad. Ugh. I don't like cigarettes. I've never smoked a
Yeah.
cigarette a day in my life. I've never even tasted
Yeah,
it.
I've taken a few drags, but I've never smoked the whole one.
My girlfriend, the one that I used to steal my parents' cars with back in the day, who I'm still friends with to this day, I actually just went and visited her with our kids, with my kids now, because we both have kids now. It's so
That's
funny.
good.
It's
They grew up together as family friends.
Yeah, like we've been friends for 30 years. And she always smoked cigarettes from a very young age. And I used to always ask her, "Ashley, why do you smoke cigarettes? Like, do you feel good? No? Like, is anything happening? No."
I think in the
Like,
beginning,
I just don't get it.
they smoke it because they're drunk. It's something to do.
She
get
was
a
12.
buzz.
She wasn't
okay,
drunk.
so when you're 12, you smoke it. Oh, some friends of yours are smoking. It's
Yeah.
cool. You get a buzz. But then it just becomes an addiction. You don't get buzz from it anymore, and now it's just a gross habit.
It's so gross.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
It's nasty.
It really should be illegal.
So you don't need help with your divorce.
I don't need help.
I can't
with my
help you
divorce.
with money.
Unless you want to pay my legal fees.
I think you probably overestimate how much money I have. I have $20,000 total to my name.
Why do you even talk about money like that? You're a Jew. That's why.
It's or that it's just laughably a low amount, so I don't care to talk about it.
I don't have a lot of money.
Yeah. So, what?
I give away all my money.
To who? The Kabbalah Foundation.
Everybody. I share a lot.
That's nice.
That's how
Yeah.
you get more. The more you share, the more the universe gives you to share.
I have such a low amount that I can give it away and not feel bad. I'm like, well, I didn't have much to begin
you
with.
can't feel bad anyway.
I
It's
gave,
important to share.
I gave someone $500 the other day on stage. Did you see that video?
No.
Why?
They had no money?
So I host this open mic, and all the comedians are brand new, and they're way like 20,000 to them would be, oh, this guy's rich.
Okay.
So I picked.
We all have to start somewhere.
Yeah. So I picked the best comedian of the night,
And you gave him $500.
and I gave him $500
That's
on
fucking
stage.
awesome.
And just made a big.
That's
stunt
huge.
out of it.
That's
Yeah.
a good deal. You should keep
Yeah.
doing that. The universe will keep giving you money to do it.
It's funny.
I guarantee you.
Well, that's what I really want to do. I can't afford to keep doing that because
Yes, you
I
can.
have rent. But what I want to do, my goal with it is for someone to see that and say you should keep doing it, and find like a company or something like
That
that
will
to
back
give me
it.
$500 a week to give away.
You should submit the video to Ellen.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
Shutterfly and stuff always does stuff for her.
That's a good idea.
And she's a comedian.
And she's
she
a
used to be a
comedian. She
stand-up
helps
comedian.
out. That's
So if you do
that's
it
a
and
good
she
idea.
does it, then you owe me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want nothing.
Yeah, you get credit.
But I think she would be the first person I would hit up.
Worth a
You
shot.
just keep on hitting her
Worth
up.
a shot.
Like keep doing it.
Yeah.
And
Send her
then
the video. I would love to do this
Send her
weekly.
the video,
Yeah.
but keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like at least do it a couple more times.
Right.
And let someone else that pretends like they don't know you
Mm-hmm.
submit the video. It's like, wow, look at this comedian. Look at what he's doing.
Right.
That's what you should do. And
That's
then
a
boom.
good idea.
Because she takes like help of people
Now,
everywhere.
here's the other thought. The only down thought to it, and this may sound stupid, but
Because we need more
do
like
I want to
laughter.
be known as the comedian giving away $500? Because is that, I don't know, part of me thinks.
You're not giving it away. They're earning it by being
But you know
funny.
what I mean? Like being a charitable, nice guy, part of me wants to be this asshole guy.
so be
known
both.
as the asshole comic.
Why can't you do both? Why do you guys keep apologizing? Like,
It's
if you're
funny,
gonna fucking
so-
say something, say it. If you're gonna say it and apologize, you should be
Well,
smacked in the face.
I could address that a little bit.
That's
I
annoying.
haven't had. Luckily, I'm not a
Then you
successful
are-
enough comedian to have to apologize for anything I've done.
You should never apologize. Period.
But why I think a lot of people apologize isn't because they necessarily regret what they did or want
Exactly.
to do it. But the reason they do it is because they're trying to save their career. For example,
But that's not saving your career.
But here's the thing: I'm not saying you're wrong. You're not wrong.
I know
but,
that.
But let's say, for example, I say something on Twitter that gets me in a big trouble. And I have my agent and manager, the people who are
Right.
getting me all my jobs
They're gonna
and paying
say,
my
"Hey,
bills.
you
if
lose
you don't
X, Y, and Z."
apologize, if
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
apologize, I'm going to drop you as a
Yeah,
client.
I
So
know.
that's why they apologize.
I know.
But
I've
speaking,
been there before.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Your issues are going to be ranked number 2. I think Trey getting on the
Trey.
leaderboard. My friend Trey, who his girlfriend wanted to peg him, that's still the number 1 issue on the leaderboard.
Trey should not do that.
Agreed.
I'd like to meet
That's
this
what I told him.
girlfriend.
I've met her. She's not nice. Or
Is she really pretty?
She seemed nice. She's pretty. Yeah, she's nice.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, what is she?
I don't want to.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what is Trey?
I don't want to do this because I don't want to offend them. I don't want to rate them.
That already tells you my
case
answer.
They hear,
What
but they're
about
both
Trey?
attractive people. They're
Have
not.
they been together a long time?
Yeah, a few years.
Are they going to get married?
I don't know. They're not
Well, then they
engaged.
should do it because then they'll know if they're going to get married or not.
It'll either bring them closer together or further apart. Yeah.
1000%. If they do it, let me know because I'd like to see the reaction.
Would you like to see the video or just hear about it?
No, I just want to hear whether she lost all respect for him or not.
Me too. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna touch
Woman
base
to
with
woman,
him on it.
it's going to change your
Maybe
opinion of him.
I'm gonna touch base with him on it, and I'm gonna have him listen to the part about us talking about it.
No,
So
not
here's your
him.
thought.
He already doesn't want to do it. It's her.
Well, maybe
she should
she
be
needs
more
to listen
aware.
to it.
Or maybe she's just into that kind of thing.
I think she is. The way
Does she
way I
watch like
interpret her-
domination porn? Like
I don't know
where
what
the girls
porn
are
she
fucking
watches.
guys?
That I
She
couldn't
must.
tell you, but the way he described it, it sounds like she was into it.
So he knew what he signed up for. She probably ties him up and like
I bet
whoops
you
the
he
shit out
didn't
of
know,
him.
and he found this out once they got comfortable enough to where she could tell him. You know what I mean? Because you don't reveal. It's not like you meet a guy and night one you go, "Hey, I want to fuck your ass."
What's that
That's
one
something
TV
you
show that where the guy was the senator or the politician and he went and got dommed all the time? The fuck is that TV show?
House of Cards?
No.
Because he did weird stuff like that.
No,
House of
not
Cards.
that guy. He got in trouble too. Everyone
Yeah, he
gets in
got in
trouble for all
trouble.
types of. No, I know, and we're wrapping this up. What is the guy? He's like the chunkier guy. The wife was the woman that was on Sons of Anarchy.
I don't know.
She's like the license Billions.
Oh, Billions.
Do you remember
I
him?
don't remember that incident, but I know the show. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I know a guy on it.
How do you
One of
not?
the
That's like
comedians.
one of his main things. Where
No,
he
I-
goes and gets dommed and beat up.
Now I'm gonna have to rewatch
You obviously
it.
don't watch the show.
Yeah, not every episode.
Okay, whatever.
Well,
Moving on.
I wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a great first date, and it was a nice conversation. Good luck with your future
Life.
of being a mother, and good luck with your divorce. Good luck with your career and your book.
Yes.
And tune in next week, and I'll have someone else on to hear about their issues.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
You're listening to
Unlicensed therapy with Ari Mannis.
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.